Day 44 of our Lavish Letters. Who's ready? Today's message is entitled Legacy of Love. My gaze is fixed upon you. When your eyes glance away under the weight of my nearness, I want to remind you, you can't mess this up. You're not a passing phase. You're my prize and passion. When I look upon you, I don't make account of the places you have not yet been, your age, or even the unbelief that at times tries to steal your attention. No, I see your spirit that has journeyed into unknown adventures with me, free falling in my love. I soak in the presence of your lips. Your lifetime of love has exhilarated me. Our unity in every season has prepared you to pass on the heritage of our love to those coming after you. You, my forever love, are mothering the nations. Today I was reading a book. It's called You're Awesome. And this book is so fantastic. And what the author was saying is that sometimes when we go through stuff, we always put a period at the end of it, which doesn't allow us to think past the circumstances that we're in. So he said, instead of putting a period in, you got to put a ... meaning that there's life after what you're going through. So for example, you may be in a situation where maybe your marriage has failed. You may be in a situation where maybe you've lost your job. And sometimes you're thinking, am I going to spend the next 2 years filling out applications? Am I going to spend the rest of my life alone if you just went through a divorce? Or what's going to happen? Maybe you've gone through some traumatic thing that has happened to you and you can't see the next step. He says there's an invisible step that we just don't focus on, so we don't see it. Because we don't see it, we don't allow our mind to think past that. He even talked about a survey that he said when they surveyed people to describe what their next 10 years were going to be like, most people described their 10 years from now to be the same as what they're seeing today, which is kind of unusual. Because if you think about it, God has given us life, right? He said, I have come to give you life and to give you life in abundance, right? Until it overflows, which means that if you're living your best life, you should expect something different for yourself for the next 10 years. If you're committed to personal growth, you should look different in the next 10 years. If you're committed to serving Christ, that's an adventure. You should not be the same in 10 years as you are today, because we can't predict that stuff. But commit yourself to living your best life. And those invisible steps that he was talking about, because we can't see the next step, we can't even see the next two that follow after that. But usually the thing that is happening to us today is usually a preparation for the next step. We're stepping into something. And whatever it is that we're going through, somebody is typically looking for hope. That may just be experiencing what you experienced 5 months ago, but because you've learned to take one step and then the next step and then the next step, they're looking for that same hope to say, you made it, I can make it too. And then when we walk it out in love, we're leaving a legacy that people are going to say, hey, you know what? I want some of that. And they can look forward to their next steps as well. I think that's just so powerful. But anyway, our title today for our word is out of the Song of Songs, chapter 4, verses 4 through 5 from the Passion Translation. And it says this: when I look at you, I see your inner strength, so stately and strong. Your virtues and grace cause 1,000 famous soldiers to surrender to your beauty. Your pure faith and love rest over your heart as you nurture those who are yet infants, as you nurture those who are yet infants. So your suffering is not in vain. Everything that you go through, you're going to make it. Why? Because God is going through it with you. He says, my gaze is fixed upon you. So he doesn't look away. Even though sometimes it feels as though he's so far away. He's always got his gaze on you because you are his prize and passion. So be encouraged, friends, and we will see you tomorrow.